Hey, put it out. If you're not on SWAT, lift your fire. We're going up.
You can see the TV light in Breonna's bedroom. You can see the ambient light coming through the window. When we get up to the door, the first couple knocks, I knocked normal because they told us, give her extra time. She's a heavyset black female. She's by herself. If we can get her to cooperate, we'd like to. So the way to do that is not to get all the neighbors out, not to get them involved.
Just low key.
She wouldn't come to the door.
Just low key, going to secure the house
and knock on the door. Yeah.
Right.
So that was the plan. So went up, knocked a couple of times on the door, no answer. She wouldn't come to the door. So at that point, started just like a normal search warrant. Open hand, loud, police search warrant, come to the door. Did that for about a minute. Well, when we first started, the guy upstairs popped his head out, the guy whose car it was that had pulled out front, popped his head out and engaged one of the detectives and was like, what's going on here? You know, he's telling him to get back inside. That turned out to be a blessing. It was the upstairs apartment right above Breonna. So that turned out to be a blessing, actually, because that guy did not live in those apartment complex and he wasn't American descent. He was foreign. So his philosophy was, I'm going to be honest with the police. Yes, y'all knocked and announced. I heard y'all yelling police. But everybody else in that apartment complex was afraid of.
Right. Well, they didn't see nothing even if they saw something.
Nothing. Yeah. Just like we deal with on the street. No different. Because they don't want the retaliation inside that apartment. They got to live there. Right. So they're like, I'm not helping the police out. So that turned out to be a blessing. So after we banged for a minute and yelled police search warrant, kept yelling loud, waking people up. I finally looked at my lieutenant and he gave us the nod to hit the door. Stopped at Kenneth Walker because all I saw was a gun pushed out. And by the time my mind said, oh, something's off here, there's two people standing in the hall. That's not normal when you come through a door, people waiting on you. They're usually running, hiding, giving up something.
Flushing dope, whatever.
Now I've got two people at the end of this hall and I see a gun, but by the time my mind registered, it was so quick. Just boom, the shot went off. I was able to return 4 shots down the hall. I got back behind the door and got 2 more rounds into where he dove into. But unfortunately, the coward he is, instead of, he thought he was getting broke into. So what am I going to do? I want to bring my girlfriend out in the hall with me instead of having her stay in the room and call 911. No, we're going to stand out here and just wait for you. 16 minutes later, finally comes out of the apartment. And on video, he says that Breonna's the one that shot me because she was scared. So he blamed her. Later on, we find out that Donovan Duncan, who was a friend of Kenneth Walker's, who happens to be on the police department, was the courtesy officer in that same apartment complex that Breonna lived in. And he came outside when the shooting occurred. He knows Kenneth Walker's mom. Kenneth Walker's mom shows up, comes up to him and says, hey, I don't know what's going on. Kenny called me and said they're at the door. She said, I said, who's at the door, baby? He said, it's the police, and hung up.
While he's still inside.
So we don't know what order of events that took place, if that was while we were banging on the door, because that was never followed up on. The tolls from mom's phone were never pulled to see what number called that at what time and laid that out. So there was some sloppy police work done in this case, at least that we know of. Maybe the FBI has it and they're sitting on it because they won't give us
they did you right, didn't they?
The third phone.
They did right by you, right?
Stand up people. Yeah, of course they did. Yeah.